Live from San Antonio, Mike Taylor.
Yes. It is Thursday morning. Good afternoon and good morning. It is Thursday. I want to hear fart drops, bitches, because it is Thursday, and that means that it is Fart Drop Thursday.
Hey, put that mic
And
closer to your mouth.
Fart drops are very immature. Fart drops are very funny. Fart drops equal ratings and clicks and views. And that's what we're all about is views and ratings and clicks. We want to clickbait you into subscribing to our show for free. And we want to entice you to become a member of our show. It is not for free, but it's only $6 a month. Do you know how much you know how quick you spend $6? Shit. It's only $6 a month to become a member of this show. And we have an incentive for people. If you're a member of our show, you can be a Spotify member, you can be a YouTube member. We want to give you a 4-pack, a family 4-pack to the San Antonio Botanical Gardens. And in the first human that comes up to me or LG Sunday at the Ringer during or either during the Cowboy game or just while we're there, we'll score the Family 4 Fun Pack at the Botanical Gardens of San Antonio, Texas. Come into the Ringer Sunday while we're there watching the game or doing the post game. Show us that you're a member, and LG will give you that 4-pack of Botanical Gardens passes, which I have lived in San Antonio off and on for the greater part of about 15 and a half years. Probably going to live here another 4 or 5 more years till our kids are grown and then I get tired and want to move somewhere. Or you and I and Nina fulfill that dream that I had. We go make documentaries across the world. But until then, I'm a San Antonio man. And I have never been to the Botanic Gardens, dude. Never.
They're nice.
I've been
Not
to that part of the city, over there. I've been in that vicinity where we did our show last year with Puma at Taste of New Orleans. But I've never actually stepped foot in the Botanic Gardens.
Yeah.
And I guess that makes me a bad San Antonian.
I think you're thinking of. Are you mistaking them for the San Antonio Japanese tea gardens?
Probably, yeah. Are they not one and the same? Are they not next to each other?
They're different. No, they're down the street, but this one's more like Hildebrand and Broadway area, not anywhere near Sunken Gardens.
Oh, well, okay. Well, then point stands. I've never been. Didn't even know where the hell it was. So
it's pretty cool. They've got like a dinosaur exhibit going on right now. So
okay, that's cool.
Like
so wherever it is,
cut the plants into dinosaurs.
So LG got these because he was over there, I guess. Were you shooting something? What were you doing?
Yeah, I was working.
Okay. Oh, that's
and I
it.
can't go, so I'll pass the the benefit on to Thunderdome.
Wait a minute. That was a very weird way you said that. Were you over there pulling a drug deal again?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Whatever you say.
Did somebody pull up in a pickup truck? Did you actually? Were you actually working? Why you're acting weird? Anyway, so here we are. I'm at home. I've got stuff to do. I got to go to Austin, Texas for some stuff. No particular reason for me. I'm going to Austin. We've got some business up there as a family. My role in this is to be driver. And because of that, we just didn't have the time to get into the studio. So here we are at K Mike Studios with this show. Huge doings yesterday, that's for sure. We had a massive trade in the NBA. The NBA will give you some good trades, boy. So Damian Lillard, after a decade in Portland, insisting that he wanted to stay in Portland all of his career, showing loyalty and faith in the Blazers, finally this year decided, you know what? That was all for naught. If I'm ever going to be a part of any winning, it is not going to be in the PDX. And so Dame Lillard requested a trade and made it super hard on the Blazers because he goes in there and he's like, hey, I want out of here. I'm not playing again for you guys. But I only want to go to Miami. Well, dude, the world doesn't work that way. I wish it did work for all of us that way. Not even millionaire ball players who are due to make $65 million next year, like Damian Lillard is, can go in there and make those kinds of demands. I don't want to play here. Trade me to Miami, period. And Miami was the only team that he had on his list, and he made it absolutely impossible for the Blazers. And so finally he decides to take a knee on Miami or nothing and approves a trade to the Milwaukee Bucks. How about those Bucks, these small marketed Milwaukee Bucks, who were scared to death of losing Giannis Antetokounmpo, and because they don't want him leaving, because Giannis alluded this year that he didn't think he'd be able to finish his career in the good land. That's how the Algonquins. So Milwaukee is. I don't know if you knew this, Lawrence, but Milwaukee is an Algonquin term for the good land. Did you know that? But you didn't.
Oh,
And
what?
it's funny. The good land,
Okay.
Milwaukee, is the Algonquin term for the good land. That was named by the Algonquins, not the Navajos, the Algonquins. And even though it's called the good land in Native American tongue, it's a shithole of a city. I've been to Milwaukee, and it's ugly and drab, and it's always cloudy, and the winters are awful. It's along a lake, and it's bone chilling. It looks like one of the South Side ghettos of Chicago. That's basically Milwaukee, and I can see why Giannis was ready to probably get out of there if they weren't going to keep winning. Because if he's going to have to live in Milwaukee, he wants to be a championship contender, and he damn sure did not want to go through a rebuild. And so, how about that? Dame was looking to get out of Portland. Giannis is looking to get out of Milwaukee unless they go do something and keep this team competitive. And boom, how about that, Giannis? And if Giannis Antetokounmpo winds
And
up
boom
leaving
goes the
Milwaukee,
dynamite.
if Giannis actually winds up leaving anyway, then that kind of makes him an asshole. That means he's dishonest because he said that it's not about Milwaukee, a city. It's not even about the organization. He wants to stay there as long as they're continuing to try to win titles and are good enough to compete for them, and now they are. So already, most of the betting schools in Las Vegas, Nevada, have already listed Milwaukee as the favorite to win the championship next year. So that's getting it done, Giannis. He should be happy. Those two should have a nice marriage here in the latter parts of, well, Dame's 33 years old. In the twilight of Damian Lillard's career, he gets to go to Milwaukee and play with Giannis and chase a championship for the Bucks, who won one, 2, 3 years ago. So that's huge in the NBA. Huge news, a power shift, if you will. The Bucks, who were probably third or fourth in the East, are now first in the NBA after this. They become the favorite to win the championship. And how it affects the Spurs is, well, it made Portland not as good. The Spurs this year have an opportunity, I think, to compete for one of those last 8 seeds in the West, or at least one of those play-in playoff games. And the team that's always right there in that mix is the Portland Trailblazers. And now that they've traded Damian Lillard, Portland's not much of a threat, even though they've got that DeAndre Ayton from Phoenix going there, and they've got that Drew Holiday, who I like, going there. Portland is not very good. And the Spurs don't have to worry about the Blazers nearly as much as they did this morning when we all woke up, or even yesterday when this trade went down. All right. Show brought to you in part by R&R Auto Glass. If you are in search of repair for your vehicle's glass, whether it is the sunroof, the front windshield, back windows, maybe you run over a homeless man and he gets stuck in the windshield. That's happened before. You remember the chick several years ago? She ran over a homeless guy, panicked. She was drunk. He was wedged in her windshield. Do you remember this story? I think this was in the
That's how
Metro
horror
6.
movies start.
This was in the Metro 6. There was a chick who was driving home from the bar or club or whatever, and she was blasted. She hits a homeless guy. I shouldn't be laughing. The poor guy died. He flips up and gets literally stuck in her windshield.
Was his name Sean Bradley?
No, dude. Sean Bradley got hit when he was on a bicycle. I should have never told you that story. That's horrible for you to make fun of that. Sean Bradley's a paraplegic, sir. But that's got to be some kind of a wheelchair, though, for him, huh? He's 7'6". See what you did to me, damn it, dude? So she hits this homeless dude. He gets wedged in her windshield. She drives home with him stuck in the windshield. She pulls into her garage. She's in full panic mode and decides, I'm so drunk, I can't deal with this. I'm going to go to bed and deal with this in the morning. Leaves the dude in her windshield. And he's still alive when she goes to sleep, right?
I'm pretty sure that's the plot to the first season of Fargo, the TV series.
No shit.
That's the second season. That's the
story.
plot to the second season of Fargo. Exactly what you just said.
Shit. I'll be goddamned. That's based on a real story. Look it up. And I think it was in Dallas. So she comes back the next morning, and lo and behold, the poor guy has bled out. Where am I going with this story? R&R would fix that glass. R&R Auto Glass does not condone the running over of homeless people, but they do condone the repairing of your windshield no matter how it gets damaged. They just want to fix your windshield. And that poor car, I mean, the chick went to jail, obviously, but somebody inherited that car, right? You'd think, where'd that car wind up? Did it get impounded and sold at auction after she went to the clink? Maybe. And so whoever winds up buying that car still needs the windshield fix, and that's where R&R would come in. Just take it to R&R, and they'll replace the windshield for you right there by the airport at 281 in Tacoma. It is 210-340-2588, 340-2588, or rnrautoglass.com. rnrautoglass.com. Okay, I mentioned Sunday. Cowboys and Patriots, Sunday at 3:25, and we will be there watching the game. I plan to get there about 3 o'clock, 3:10 or so. We're going to have food truck out there, an empanada truck. That's pretty cool. There it is. Sheesh. Fat Tummy Empanadas will show up around 2:30, and they're going to be serving food until about 6:30, right around the fourth quarter. And so I'm going to get there around 3, scoop me up a couple of empanadas, grab me a couple of cocktails, and watch Cowboys Patriots Sunday at the Ringer on Jones Maltzberger and Thousand Oaks Drive. And then when the game is over, we're going to do post-game shows. So come out and hang out with us at the Ringer. Prove to us you're a member and win the family 4-pack of tickets to the San Antonio Botanical Gardens, which is not right by the Japanese theater. It's down the street. Okay. Cowboys and Patriots. A lot of y'all commented on my Dak Prescott sentiments. Can't believe that you're completely out on him now. Can't believe you've decided to finally come around and see the light. Congratulations, Mike, on your enlightenment. It's about time. Told you all this kind of thing I've heard about Dak this week. And I continue to say you're changing the narrative. Yes, I am out on Dak. But that does not mean that I'm ready to admit that I've been wrong all these years. I've been right all these years, and I'm right now. The Cowboys needed to stick with Dak and give it a go 5 years ago and 3 years ago and last year. The guy he has regressed. As I've said all week long, he's slowly done this. He has descended. His age and his wear and tear have finally caught up with each other. Dak ain't the guy. He's always been near the top of the second tier quarterbacks in the NFL. Now I think, and I said this last night on my Twitter chat, if you watched it, if there's 5 or 6 elite quarterbacks in the NFL, and that's tier 1, then you've got tier 2, which is whoever the 6th best guy is in the league, until about 12 or so. That's your tier 2. Dak is closer to 12 than he is 6 for sure. And hell, he may be 12th at this point. That's where he is. That doesn't mean I've been wrong all these years. It just means he's finally gotten old. At some point, Dak was going to get older and digress and regress, which he certainly has. And he's not been any good for these last 3 weeks. I do not trust him to win more than one playoff game. And I think the Cowboys should let him go after next year when he's a free agent. I would not. I would go ahead and eat the $59 million cap hit that he's going to bring next year. It sucks. He could cost you Micah Parsons. Too bad. If you don't have an elite quarterback, it don't matter if you have 4 Micah Parsons. You got to take care of that quarterback position, and Dak ain't it. Maybe Trey Lance is in 2025 or somebody else not on the roster, but it ain't number 4 with the Cowboys currently, and that's how it is. That all being said, we'll see how Dak bounces back from a really shitty game in Phoenix last week on Sunday at 3:25. Cowboys and Patriots, and we'll have post game. It is Cowboys Overreact presented by the law office of Orlando Kell. Show also brought to you in part by San Antonio City Soccer. They had a big night last night. SAFC's Academy Club was out there playing a match out there on the far north side, Speck Road Fields. And they had a match out there last night. That is the home of Thunderdome Field, which we are going to be going to a big Thunderdome night at some point, either in mid to late October or early November. San Antonio City Soccer Club, the official soccer club of Thunderdome and us. It is San Antonio City Soccer Club. Packages are available. However, LG, I have breaking news on that. Give me 1 second here. Our soccer club Well, I was holding it for a surprise for you. We have ourselves a sponsor for. Remember, I told you we have two more pitches that needed sponsors. We got one, bitches. Let me see. I want to make sure I get this right. Okay, Holmes. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, yeah. You ever heard of Kids World Pediatric Dentistry? Well, you
I
have
have
now.
now.
You have now. Muchas gracias to Kids World Pediatric Dentistry. They have sponsored one of the soccer fields. Advertising works. All right. And now we're down to one. We need one more field that has a sponsor, and we're good to go. And it'll make me look good with San Antonio City Soccer Club, the biggest soccer club in this city, over 1,500 students. If you're interested in becoming a supporter of San Antonio City Soccer, get your ass in there to my DMs or shoot me an email at miketaylorshow@gmail.com and let's talk. It's only $1,000 for the entire year, and you get your name on the field, and lots and dozens of thousands of people will see your stuff. Okay. What else? I got some more clerical work to do, and then I'll get into some feedback. A lot. I'm getting bad about answering emails, and people respond to our show, and I highly appreciate that, and I get bad about it. So I wanted to get into some of those here on Fart Drop Thursday. Some of y'all have asked, what the hell's this thing you got going with Cleto and Ernie? Okay, so you recall when I had Ernie Zuniga on the show. When did we have Ernie on? 6 weeks ago, something like that, maybe a month, something like that.
Sure.
The longtime sportscaster turned newsman over at KABB, Fox 29. Ernie left Fox 29 this year, and we had him on the show 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. And Ernie and I got to talking in the days after that show. And Ernie has a really cool podcast that I've been on. He's got that cool it's pickup lines, the show he does where he's literally in his car interviewing people from around San Antonio, and it was cool to be on that with him. And that kind of got us to thinking, because we had a good day, that we had a good time that day, and it was fun. And we have a mutual buddy by the name of Cleto Rodriguez, the longtime journalist, stand-up comic, who is one of the most successful stand-up comics in, San Antonio history. So we all went and had lunch not long ago, um, and we were shooting the breeze and talking about podcasts and being in between jobs and how are you doing? I'm okay. How are you doing? Well, I'm all right. We're hanging in there. How's it going? Out of radio. That's fine. Working hard, hustling, all this kind of thing. And the three of us had something of an epiphany that day. And so what I don't want to do is get too far ahead of myself here. All I can say is, and I'm gonna have more details about this over the weekend. And we'll get into this on Monday. Hey, LG, what are you doing next Tuesday? Are you available to run a podcast?
Huh? What?
And it's funny because poor LG knows what's going on. I'm giving him shit. Poor Lawrence. Did I even technically ask if you were interested in doing this? I just kind of told you to,
No,
I
no,
think.
you just kind of lumped me in. But
I
yes,
did.
to your question, I will see you next Tuesday.
Okay, cool. See you next Tuesday. No, I did kind of just lump LG in. He's the best dude in town. He's my partner. So I'm not. Those boys they're thinking big, and I appreciate that, and it's cool. I'm scared to think big. The way I'm looking at this is, we're gonna do a thing on Tuesday. We're still working out exactly what that thing's going to be, what we're even going to call it. I was just going to call it Three Pendejos Have Lunch. And that's it. We're just gonna go. We're gonna go have lunch somewhere, or
What's
or find a studio or something, and we're gonna sit there. We're gonna shoot the shiznit about whatever, and LG's gonna roll on it for us, and we're gonna post it. Kletta will post it on all of his socials. Ernie will do the same, and I will do the same on the Love You Hard TV channels and my socials and such. And we're just going to do it. I don't know. It may be 39 minutes. It may be an hour and 39 minutes. It may be 51 minutes. I don't know. We're going to open the mics. We're going to have a couple of ideas of stuff to talk about. And we're just going to take off. It's three alpha.
Mhm.
It's 2.5 alpha Mexicans. sitting in a room,
bit, yeah.
shooting the breeze about life in San Antonio and being our age and stuff. So it's just three Gen X dudes from this town that are just going to shoot the breeze. And so some of y'all have asked, what's this thing you got coming up next week? I'm not going to quit Mike Taylor Live. I'm not going to stop pursuing jobs because I don't want to jinx anything. Is it possible that show has some legs? Sure. But the way I'm looking at it is I'm going to show up next Tuesday, sit down with those two boys, do a show, and that's it. I'm going to go home. And that's it. I'm not thinking about anything beyond that. So for Thunderdomers that are like, oh my God, are you about to quit the show and go work with those two exclusively? The answer is no.
Fuck are you bitches babbling about?
Or am I? I don't know. No. Ernie's not going to quit doing his show in the car. Leto's not going to not stop doing his podcast, any of his stand-up stuff. We're going to keep doing these shows. We're just going to see how it goes, man. Just dip your little toes in the water. Dip your little toes in the water, and that's good. All right. So that's it. Okay. I'm just going to sit there and have lunch with those boys. Probably order a cocktail and hang out. And I'll probably get something vodka laced with Live Oak Vodka, the official vodka of this show. They scored a 91 last year in the Ultimate Spirits Championship Challenge of 2K22. It is Texas distilled at Coastal Bend Distilling down in Beeville, Texas. It is the 2022 91 champion. Highly recommended score they got. It is Live Oak Vodka, the official vodka of Thunderdome. Live Oak Vodka. All right, here's how we're going to end it today. Some feedback from the people, late punches and stuff. David's in here. Nope, I take it back. Wrong name. Kerry Von Erichfoot. Great story yesterday about the great Brooks Robinson. Poor Schlitz on third base for Brooks. He's a dead. Heaven needed the second greatest third baseman to play the hot corner. Hashtag Godspeed, Bubba. God bless Asim Richards. Now, that's the most obscure Cowboy reference you've ever had. Thank you, Kerry. Note that he called Brooks the second best third baseman of all time. I'm assuming that Kerry's idea of who the greatest third baseman of all time is would be Mike Schmidt. It's funny. My father's favorite player of all time was Brooks. My father's second favorite player of all time was Mike Schmidt, third baseman. My daddy loved third baseman. Rich is in here. Sitting here watching the Braves last night, and you boys ever heard of this Miles Mastroboni for the Cubs? Have you heard this name, dude? I think he's a relief pitcher in Chicago. Yep.
Of course he is. So do we have a new official pitcher then?
Well, I
possibly.
mean, it would have helped had the Cubs made the playoffs, but they're not going to wind up making it. Miles, wait, is he a Cub? Let me confirm. I think he's a Cub, not a Brave. Miles, no bullshit. It's a real name. Miles Mastroboni. Miles Mastroboni. Who does he play for? Yeah, he's a Cub. Shit. So he won't be around. So, we've not had an official pitcher of the show in a long time. It took me 2 years to get over the retirement of Doug Fister. But Miles Mastroboni may have claim to the throne here. What's unfortunate, though, is we're just now finding out about him just as the Cubs season is 3 days from being over with. That's unfortunate. Let's just say Miles Mastroboni is a name that we'll keep our eyes on going forward. What else did we got? Late punches in here. Leland Bruce, too. Punched Democratic U.S. Senator Menendez for being indicted on bribery charges and corruption-related charges. It's now the second time Menendez has been indicted on corruption, bribery, and service fraud charges since 2013. Menendez is seeking re-election next year to the U.S. Senate. Hashtag fire Menendez. I think he's out of the state of New York, I believe, right? Fuck, who cares? Do you ever keep up with politics anymore, LG? Like seriously, ever?
I read headlines here and there, but I don't dive deep into it.
I have become so disenchanted with the entire thing.
Exactly.
I have not read anything beyond a headline in months.
Nope.
And has it affected my life? Yes. How has it affected my life? In a positive way. Fuck politics.
Bet your ass.
Bet your ass. Absolutely. Cersar is in here. Taylor, don't listen to you as much as I used to for my own personal reasons. Okay. But I did tune in to you to hear about your takes on the Cardinals' loss. I wanted to see what excuse you were going to give and defend Dak. And let me tell you that I am glad you are finally stating what many of us Thunderdomers have been telling you about Dak for years. Dak sucks. Stop right there. He does not suck. He's not as good as he once was. He's just nearing retirement. He's never sucked, and he doesn't suck now. I'm not coming. This is an example of I'm not coming around to your side of the woods. At some point, those of you that think Dak should go, at some point, y'all were going to be right. I mean, he couldn't be the quarterback till he was 70. So at some point, yeah, it was going to be time to get rid of Dak. It just so happens that that's happening now. So yeah, I have hired an attorney, and I have filed for divorce from Dak Prescott this week. We're getting divorced. The proceedings have begun. The only difference that you said that I still disagree with is that you're saying Dak is starting to suck. I've been telling you Dak sucks for years. He does not suck. He doesn't suck now. He never has sucked. He doesn't suck now. He's just not the right cat for the Cowboys going forth. But they're stuck with him. They still could win the division with him this year. They still could win a couple of playoffs games with him this year. I doubt it, but they could. And then they're stuck with him next year. Because you just can't go cut the guy because of the money they owe him. Let him go to free agency and start anew. Maybe Trey Lance is ready to roll by then or somebody else. So that's just an example of what I was saying earlier in the show. Dak doesn't suck. He's not as good as he once was, and it's time to move on. All right, that's it. It's time for me to move on. We'll be back in here on Monday with Mike Taylor live. However, I will have Cowboys Overreact presented by the Law Office of Orlando Kell on Sunday at the Ringer on Thousand Oaks and Jones Maltzberger. It's a 325 kick. I'll be there watching the game. Come hang out and drink a beer with us, and then stick around for the live post-game shows. We talk Cowboys and Patriots as Zeke Elliott returns to Jerry World to take on them Cowboys as a New England Patriot. My pick for the week, since this is our last show of the midweek. Give me the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are going to be pissed. I don't know how many offensive linemen they're going to be missing on Sunday. I do know that they're a pretty good bounce back club, especially that defense. I'll be stunned if the defense puts back-to-back shitty efforts like that. I don't think they will. Cowboys defense will show up ready to play. Dak will be good enough. Cowboys will score enough points. Give me the Cowboys to win the game. 24-17, Cowboys win. However it shakes down, whatever actually occurs, we'll overreact and knee-jerk to it all on Sunday. All right, so we'll see you boys Sunday and back on Mike
I believe
Taylor
we
Live.
have a programming reminder about Monday. We will not have a show at 10
time
a.m.
out.
Actually.
Oh my God! See, this is why I need somebody in the room with me because of my ADHD. We will not have a show Monday
At 10 a.m. or we will not have a show Monday.
We need to discuss. Okay, let's discuss it now.
No one told me.
I believe we need to do a show after Media Day. What do you think?
I agree.
I think we should go to Media Day, do what we can, get our asses back to to your studios at some point. What time, sir? I'm checking my calendar now.
Yeah. You open that day? Because
I
would like
I'm pretty open.
I'd like to, eat or something after we're done at Media Day and then
That's
come
fine.
here.
That's fine.
Maybe 3?
Okay, let's
we'll be
do
done
that.
by 3 or 4?
That's a good. No, I think we should start
4?
at 3. Yeah. Well, it starts at 10. We'll be out there by noon 30.
Okay,
We'll
3 o'clock.
We'll go back to your crib and do the show at 3 o'clock. Okay, cool. All right, so that's our plan for Monday because I forgot about Media Day. Thank you for reminding me. We've got Media Day that LG and I have to go cover for the Spurs. Although it's a bad sign that we did not get invited to the media tour of the new facility. Did you notice that?
Did you ever get a response to that RSVP for Media Day? Are we good? You sure we're good?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This is what Twitter's for, and Facebook and Instagram. If things change, we'll let Thunderdome know. So I did notice that on Wednesday, a bunch of local media got a tour
Of
The Rock at La Cantera. I never got an email on that. Just letting you know.
Yeah, maybe it was just a closed tour to select
Maybe it was
media.
just select media, tier 1 media. No way we're going to get credentialed. They have tiers with the Spurs too. We are not elite. If we get credentialed, we're going to be like Dak. We're tier 2 or tier 3 even.
All right.
I'm assuming that was tier 1 media only, like the beat writers and the local television people, right? Whatever. I'm still confident. So let's just do this. Let's go to Media Day Monday and do a show at 3 o'clock Monday, like we said. Okay?
All right. I'm cool with that.
All right, we're good. All right, cool. Me too. That's it. We're done. Thank you so much to Thunderdome. You boys get your asses out there to the ringer on Sunday and make me look good in front of the client, okay? Do me a favor and keep me employed in 2K23. All right, that's it. We're done. Love y'all hard. Have a good weekend. We'll see you Sunday. Back on this show Monday at one of the times, either 10 a.m. because we got booted out of Media Day or 3 p.m. because we got in. Love y'all hard. See you Monday and Sunday.
Come back, you puppy!
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.